Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you aboard. We kindly ask that you fasten your seatbelt
and eat your fucking nuts. This is Confessions on the Fly with
LJ
and Flight Attendant Joe. Hey everybody, welcome to Confessions on the Fly with
LJ
and Flight Attendant Joe. We are live from Midnight Profit Productions in Hollywood, California.
I'm so proud. He's getting so much better at this.
I'm getting better at this.
Episode.
It's so, like, who the fuck picks a name like that? Man. Why couldn't it just be Hollywood Studios? Oh, I think that's taken.
That's already taken.
Is that taken?
Yeah.
A Midnight Profit Productions Studios.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. That is hard for me to say.
I know.
It's like a tongue twister.
You have to prep yourself every episode for that.
Well, it's not anal. It's just saying Midnight Profit Productions Company, but whatever. But we have a fun show today.
We have a fun show.
I don't want to get into anal yet.
No.
I'm sure we could talk about it soon. But we have a great show for you today. I'm very, very excited. We have a guest star with us today.
Okay, I got dressed appropriately for
I'm
you.
dressed up too, and I'm even showing a little chest hair in case she gets turned on.
Yes.
We have Stephanie with us today. She's a flight attendant. She has a YouTube page. She's amazing. She's funny. I've never actually met her in person.
But we hear great things.
But she loves my books, and that's why I have her on the show.
There you go.
Stephanie, welcome to Confessions on the Fly.
Hello.
Yay!
How are you?
Great to be here.
Oh.
You and your chest hair, it just gets me every time.
Well,
Yes.
I could show you other hair too, but I don't want to get that crazy. I'm trying to behave today.
It's not that kind of show.
She told me, behave, we have a guest.
I know. I said act appropriately. I feel like a mom.
Oh my God! But thank you so much,
Yeah.
Stephanie, for being with us. This is all about you today. We want to talk to you. We have so many questions, but first, give our viewers and our listeners a little brief description of yourself. Oh, wait a minute. That sounds like.
What?
Please describe how you
My
look.
name's
That sounds
Stephanie.
very
I'm
misogynistic.
single. I'm 29. I have a
No,
long
yeah. Give us a nice little rundown of who you are and all the good.
And your cup size.
No,
nobody wants.
No.
Everybody, all the straight
We're
guys.
going to get sued and we have no money.
Well, she doesn't have to answer the question.
Okay.
And who doesn't have money? You don't have
Listen, I
money.
need a side job. I'm not making
Right.
it.
Exactly. So tell our viewers and listeners who you are.
My name's Stephanie. I am 29. I work for a commercial airline, and
Very
I've
nice.
been there about almost 4 years, going into 4 years.
Awesome.
Okay.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Do you like being a flight attendant?
Sometimes.
That's such an honest answer.
There
Thank
you go. I
so
love that
much.
you're in 4 years. I just hit my 5 year. So
Congratulations.
thank you. And my goal was to make it 5 years. That was my goal. And now I'm like I'm in my eat, pray, love year. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm at the end of this year, I make the decision whether I'm peacing out or not.
Oh, wow. I've been doing
I
this
just
for
wanted to
11.
get past reserve.
Oh,
Now,
that was the goal.
Are you on reserve or off reserve?
No, I finally got off reserve. I was on reserve for 2 years.
Congratulations. That's like
Congratulations.
it's like having a different job when you have a
100%.
line.
Totally
Now,
different job.
You're based in the LA area?
Yeah, I'm based out of Los Angeles.
Now, how
Okay.
do you like that? Have you been based anywhere else, or is that where you've always been based?
I was lucky enough to actually get based out of LA right out of training.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Which I was the very last person, so I got to stay at home. But I was
huge.
completely mentally prepared to be living in San Francisco.
Oh, that would have been great
okay.
because we could have been BFFs because I live in the Bay
know.
Area.
But now we just have to talk on social media.
Yeah, now I just have to have you on our show,
There you
which
go.
is very exciting. Now, I want to jump right into, because I'm very interested in finding out now. I know that you work for an airline. We won't mention any names, but you work for an airline that's merged in the last 5 years.
That
And
is correct.
I'm very curious about how that happens when two airlines with different cultures clash and come together.
Come together.
It's an experience. It's definitely, I don't know. We were two entirely different cultures.
Okay.
Like, if you could find completely different ends of the spectrum, that's what we are.
Wow.
Right.
And so it's been very interesting having that transition because we found out, I'd say maybe 6 months into me actually working for my original airline,
Okay.
that we were going to be acquired.
Oh.
Ooh.
So you were there 6 months when you found this out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have
It was
any
a lot of
knowledge?
speculation that just happened.
Did you have any knowledge of that when you applied, when you started training? Nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, obviously in our industry, like
Totally.
it is completely run around the rumor mill. It's like,
Of
oh,
course.
this airline's going to buy this one and that one there. And it's constantly feeding.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there was definitely some of that.
Mm-hmm.
But No, I still remember to this day, I was in Dallas and we were going to the plane and they had the TVs up and it announced on the TV that we got acquired.
Whoa.
That you found out walking through the airport in Dallas.
You didn't even like get an email or nothing? You found out on television.
We got the email after.
Oh, that sucks.
But that sounds like the airline industry.
They're
always one step behind the news.
That's awful. That's like getting broken up with by like seeing somebody on social media like doing somebody else.
That's like the Carrie Bradshaw sticky note breakup.
That's awful.
That's terrible.
It was. Oh yeah.
What was it?
Real classy, guys.
What was it like that moment as you're walking on the plane? The whole crew looking at it like, is this real? Is this real? This can't be real. This is ridiculous.
I mean, it's like you said. It's like seeing your significant other cheating on you in public.
Yeah.
It's like immediately you're pulled down because we knew instantly with the airline that acquired us.
Okay.
We knew instantly how different it was going to be.
Oh.
So it was like everybody had this sense of sorrow. And then later on, as we got closer to being fully integrated, you had this feeling from the people that were super senior that have been there from the very beginning. And it was just, I felt so sad. Like I felt so sorry for them.
Right.
For all the work that they put in.
For all those years, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you guys completely integrated now? Do you work with each other on the planes, or is it still separate?
We're very close.
Okay.
Very close to that. Next year, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question about the difference. Were your fleets similar, or were they the same aircraft? You had to learn. Did you have to go back to training? Like, what was that?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that. I need to know about that.
My airline is Airbus. The other airline is Boeing. And so we had to completely learn Boeing and they had to learn Airbus. And
wow.
So that was a long process of a lot of, we call them obviously CBTs.
Yep.
And doing all of that work behind the scenes, then going in to actually doing physical door maneuvers.
Gotcha.
And we have all new commands and
So both airlines that merged had to go back to training, basically.
Correct.
To a certain extent, I appreciate that everybody had to go back. It's not like one.
She has this fear of training. Because that's all you're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, oh, well, I get to go hang out for 3 days.
This was never going to be like a lifestyle or a job for me. I was just like, meh. You know, I work in the entertainment industry. I was a writer, a teacher, an actor. You know what I mean? So for me, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do a part-time job. I've never traveled before. Sure. What's up with some nuts on a plane?
Great. A lot of nuts on the plane.
Like me. I mean, everything that I did was customer service. But then it was like, you know, I worked at the bank. I was a cosmetologist. And now I'm doing this. So it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, I figured it'd be fun.
Right.
Exactly.
I get to travel. And then I tell people all the time, it was the most stressful and terrifying 6 weeks of training in my entire life.
I would have, if I had known, I would have never done it. I'd be like, I'm good.
Really?
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I have at my graduation, when my best friend was pinning me, I literally was like, I don't know if I really want to do this.
Oh, I had a friend who did that. She cried all the way through training. She did one flight after graduation, and I saw her in the crew lounge one day. This was 11 years ago, and she's like, yeah, I'm quitting. I was like, what?
Yeah, what?
You cried every time you took it? She goes, yeah, I don't like the way the airplanes smell. I said, well, I guess get out now then if you don't like the airplane smell, because it's probably going to get worse. So let me ask you, are you an Airbus or a Boeing lover now?
Because now you've worked on both planes.
I love my Airbus. I think in terms of being comfortable for us and for people flying, I think it's a superior product. I think it's quieter and it has better technology. That being said, I do like the overwing exits that the Boeings have because they're automated.
Right.
Ooh.
And I do kind of like wrangling the door.
Okay. Now, have you actually worked on a Boeing already, or?
Not yet.
So you're just trained. Okay, next year.
Got
Very
it.
good.
Yeah.
So what's it like? So you guys really haven't worked together, so you don't know about, because I'm interested in like the headbutting.
Oh, it's...
Yeah.
Is there already some?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can you share something
some
with
of
us?
that.
Well, you know, you just hear a lot of stories from people who like jump seat that make little snarky comments, or you find that it seems like a lot of these people from the other airline, these senior people, like to rat everybody out and take pictures of them while they're working. And
that happens at our airline too. Yeah.
Yeah,
they
it's
love
like
taking that.
I don't understand that mentality
Of like
from where
service standards, like differences in service standards are taking pictures of, or people who are doing stupid stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
No, like if you didn't do enough cart services, if your skirt's a little bit too short, if
they're doing it's petty nonsense.
It's very petty.
Okay.
Or like, they'll take a picture of you because now we can use our phones
right.
when there's downtime.
Okay.
Right.
Back on my airline, we never were allowed to do that.
Okay.
So now, every once in a while, somebody will get on their phone or on their company issued device,
right.
and people take photos and try and put it out of context. And then
that's shitty.
That's real.
That's fucking shady. I don't like that.
I don't like shady people.
I don't like flight attendants. I think flight attendants are the biggest bitches I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, they will rat each other out in a hard second. Pilots, it's so amazing the mentality of pilots. A pilot, they will stick up for each other. They have this brother mentality of like, did you grab her? Did you grab her boob? No, I didn't see him grab her boob. Did you grab? No.
Grab her by the
Flight attendants would be like, oh, she carried him around like a 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
Like flight attendants will, and I don't know if it's because they think, oh, they're senior to me. I don't know what it is, but I've heard pilots have this camaraderie where it's like cops. This is almost transitioning.
Dirty cops?
Flight attendants will be the first one to push you out of the door when the slide hasn't deployed.
Oh my God.
I agree.
That's a great way of putting that.
I agree. Like I go to work.
That's literally what it is.
When I'm usually not the lead flight attendant. I like to work in the back because I hate boarding more than anything in the world. I could do service for the entire airplane all day long, except deal with one fucking boarding. If you come up and you have 7 wheelchairs, I'm like, I quit. Like I hate boarding. I hate it. I hate it when people walk on and they're like, where am I supposed to put my bag? Up your ass. I don't care. I hate boarding. I don't even know where I was going with this.
Oh
Can you bring me back a little bit?
I was just enjoying the story.
I'm always crazy.
Right?
But pilots will always stick together, and flight attendants are the first ones. Oh, so when I'm in my briefing, I'm always like, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't, do what you're supposed to do. Don't, try not to rat anybody out on this 4-day trip. If you see somebody doing something, just walk up and be like, hey, you're not supposed to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather you come to me and say something.
Yeah. And like, that's what I try and tell people all the time. Cause I like working up front because I can kind of set the tone for everybody that's getting onto the plane.
You run the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in that aspect, it really helps me not have really bad experiences on the plane. Like obviously you still have some.
Right.
But,
I love that you said that though, about setting the tone. That's great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and I tell people all the time when I'm working up front, when we do our briefings, I'm like, listen, I don't care what you do. As long as safety comes first and you're doing your job properly, I don't care.
Right.
Like,
as long as you're not doing anything endangering my life.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I agree with that.
Wow. So because of the merging of the two companies, they're just being petty now at this point.
Oh yeah. I mean, I read something that somebody posted about their people were upset that we were wearing our wings instead of our name bars.
What do you mean? So you have two separate things, name bars and wings?
Yeah. So we have wings, like traditional wings that we can wear, or we have name bars. And since our uniforms have the like our logo or the wings kind of emblazoned on them, you can wear either.
Okay.
Right.
And these people were literally being petty and being upset that we weren't wearing our name bars and that we were wearing our wings.
Oh,
that's so funny because I was now I'm not going to announce the airlines, but I know which airlines you're talking about, of course. And I was on the airline recently, I would say last May, the one that merged with you, the one that absorbed your airline, and they were saying the same thing about you guys. They were like, "Oh, they're so childish. They want everything. Our contract's better." It was, and I was in the flight deck, and I was just like, "Can I just have some more free minis? I really don't care." She was giving me minis and telling me all this. I was like, "Just give me my drinks."
And that's the biggest thing is like they're sitting there, and mind you, this is me saying it's a small percentage of a big
of course.
People.
Yeah, and you are turning into an us as well.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice.
And they were sitting there and they were saying that we're crying about all these things. Well, to an extent, yeah, because we've been working our butts off making the lowest of the low in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
And you want us to work alongside you until a certain year, but you want me to make less than you and not have your same benefits? Like, of course I'm going to yell and scream about things because we should be making the same amount of money.
Absolutely.
Because we're doing the same job.
Correct.
Have they? No, what were you going to say?
I have another question.
Have they integrated the seniority yet?
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it in effect now, or no? Until you guys all work together.
I think it's more when we all work together.
Okay.
We did relative seniority. Or wait, was it relative? No. Data hire.
Data hire.
Data hire.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of in that aspect. So we did it by date of hire, and they normally do it by IOE.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In-flight operating experience, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's like your final quiz.
Right.
Final test to be a flight attendant.
And Stephanie before said CBD. No, CBD. I guess where my brain is. Computer-based training. I know, right? I'm off now. Computer-based training, which is the classes that flight attendants take. For the gay people listening, not cock and ball torture, which is also CBT, which I... Oh, we have a bell.
When he gets to, I can't. So I used to keep track of how off he would. I just can't.
Now we just have a bell.
I got a bell.
You know what? I appreciate the bell.
You're welcome.
Well, because, there could be gay people who are into leather thinking, oh my God, they go through CBT at flight attendant training. Where do I sign up? No, it's not cock and ball torture. It's computer-based training. Well, sometimes computer-based training feels like cock ball torture, even though you guys don't understand that because you don't have balls. But tit torture. Yeah. Tit torture. Oh, yeah. Like imagine having your tits squeezed to death. God, that sounds terrible. And I have tits, so I can imagine what that would feel like.
That's called a mammogram.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, they're not fun.
That's a good thing, though, for cancer. You want to check out your tatas.
So I have a question about...
Let's go back to the show.
So when this was announced, did they offer a buyout for either? No, they didn't offer a buyout. Okay.
No,
interesting.
We thought that they might, but they haven't done that at all.
No, they're like, no, you're stuck. And then I have another question. Were either union, non-union companies? Were you both union, both non-union?
Both union.
You both were union beforehand?
Different unions.
Oh, okay.
So we had to switch our union, which truthfully was great because our original union was new to us.
Okay.
And they like to sit around and have coffee and gossip.
Okay.
Let's put it that
Lovely.
way.
Okay.
Right.
They really weren't working hard to get what we needed.
Okay.
So you guys left
aspects that are nice.
Okay. So you left your union and you went to their union for when you were acquired. Okay.
So
I'll tell you what though, that's a great way to divide a work group.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. I can imagine.
Okay.
Because some people love one, some people love the other.
Yeah, well that and you have to agree on they call them TAs, tentative agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so we had to vote on those agreements.
Right.
And so you had some people that wanted one thing and then they're all blasting each other on social media.
Right.
And you'd be flying and people would be talking about it. It's literally going politics with it was just
that's rough.
So do you have a contract in place now, or was it just basically their old contract with a few new agreements?
No, we definitely got a big step up when it came to our new agreement.
Oh, good.
Our
that's
pay
good.
is increasing until 2020, I think.
Okay.
Which is amazing. There's certain aspects to policies. We now have a commuter policy we didn't have before. And certain things like that.
Great.
It's definitely not great, but it's better than what we had.
Yeah. Nothing's perfect. You're never going to get everything you want. Nothing's perfect, regardless for any job. So
I know a couple pilots that work for your airline, and how is it going for them? Do you know?
I know that they were having a really hard time initially with their TA. There's a lot of things that they didn't end up getting that maybe we had before. Our guys aren't necessarily happy with it because there's a lot of downgrading. Like they had, in their minds, they had a superior contract and they're kind of stepping down from that with their new.
Okay.
They did a few, protests and whatnot.
Okay.
Pilots love to protest.
They do.
They do. They're the biggest fucking babies on the planet. It's almost like they could, like the gate agent could say, you have no children on the plane. Oh no, we have two. They're in the front.
Do you want to know one of my favorite things? So we have one pilot in particular who demands that you don't make coffee because he hates the smell of coffee.
What do you mean? So I hate pilots sometimes. So you mean he comes on and in the briefing he's like, don't serve coffee up front because I don't want to smell it?
Yeah.
So if
he doesn't like
so
coffee.
you have to go brew your coffee in the back? No.
For your first class passengers? Hold on, I have to go all the way to the back.
Let me tell you something.
First of all,
I don't care. I'm still making that coffee.
Yeah.
You get up in that closet and you fly this plane out of here. I'm making my coffee because you don't have to sit
maybe
back
I'll give you a bathroom break.
That's the most amazing pilot story I have heard. Like I've had them ask me for like a cup of ice with 2 cubes. And I'm always like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm trying to board 300 people and you want 2 cubes of ice. But that's amazing. Like, and first of all, you have to brew coffee. So if he says something, be like, I don't know, go talk to the flight attendant manager because I have to brew coffee for these people. Right? That's bizarre.
Go sit up front and put on your face mask and huff your O2 and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Just get me to point B without me having to jump out of a slide.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things is like when they come into the galley and just think that they know where everything is and try and get everything themselves.
Right. Oh,
and they're like,
I'll get it. And you're like,
no.
Go away. Stop touching.
That's
don't
hilarious.
Touch.
Now, I don't want, because we have a lot of pilots that listen in and watch. I don't want you guys to cry that we're bashing you because we know that when you get up in the flight deck and close the door, you bash us for 5 hours.
Okay, that's fine. And they could roll around in all their money. It's fine. They're fine.
So it's like
take a bath in all your dollar bills. You're fine. I could,
What pilots do you know that are taking baths in? I know some poor ass fucking pilots.
Really?
Who work for regional airlines that make $19 an hour.
Yeah,
really?
But they're on their way to not being in.
Okay, I have to tell you this. I have to throw LJ under the bus for a minute.
Come on.
She's out of all the flight attendants I know, she knows the least amount from the airline industry, and I think it's because she's so disconnected.
So disconnected.
So regional pilots that are like 22 years old who are just starting.
Well, that's a different
They're making
story.
they're not all swimming in money.
Okay, fine. I'm talking about people
but they're swimming in something else.
Yeah, that's for sure. I like you.
What a great transition into the next conversation that I want to have. They're swimming. So, here we go with the more pilot pashing. But pilot pashing.
Pilot pashing? Bashing.
It's a rough damn.
Smashing?
Yeah.
I mean,
so,
it's kind of a mixture of passion, bashing, banging.
Right?
You can't even say it either. People they've already tuned out.
Yeah, they're like these two.
These three today. So, Stephanie, another thing I want to talk about is...
This is what he's been waiting for.
I want to know...
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've never actually met you, but I do know of you. And I almost feel like we have a little bit of a history because you are such a supporter of Flight Attendant Joe. Yeah. And I know that you dated a pilot once, and it was a serious relationship. It wasn't just casual, right?
No.
It was like...
We were together for almost a year.
Committed together.
Yeah. Well, some of us were.
See, this
Isn't
is
that
what
always
I really...
the way?
So, of course, out of respect...
Just with anyone you date. No,
well, of course, out of respect, we're not going to mention the person's name, but we could talk about some details. And I just want to know what pros, cons, dating a pilot. What made you date a pilot?
Okay, well, first of all, let's just say it goes back to, some kind of give this name for all. And I think that we have the same thing. There's some people that give a bad taste that make you think that all of them are the same way.
Right.
So for any pilots out there listening, like, I'm not necessarily this could be you. It could not be you.
Right.
But
it's probably you.
But it's probably, if you think it's not you, it's probably you.
Right. If you think it's not you, yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I wanted nothing to do with pilots when I first got into the industry. Wanted nothing to do
Amen, sister.
Right.
Same.
That's
and
mostly.
I'm kind of still there.
Same.
Kind of still there.
Right.
It just so happened that I met this particular person when we were both starting out.
Okay.
And our personalities were very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately we were talking, and one thing led to another, and we were dating like that same month.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You worked for the same airline?
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you guys live in the same town?
No. So he lived in a different state.
Oh, okay.
But ironically enough, he was based in LA with me, but we actually met in San Francisco.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. That's very good. And was it what was it like? Did you ever work with him on the plane? What was that like? I just want the juicy stuff.
Yeah, he wants the details.
Yeah, I want the details.
I've worked with him a couple of times. I can say honestly, like he in particular, he's a great pilot. He's great at what he does.
Uh-huh.
Flying planes is like what he was meant to do. Whether or not he still does that,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, she's shady. I love it.
Really?
No, she's not shady.
I love it.
But that being said, like I always enjoyed when we got to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Part of that was, my own insecurity of being able to keep an eye on him because I know better with him.
Oh, okay. And that I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about jealousy in the airline industry because there's so many things about reputations and this and that, and you're traveling all over and you're sleeping in this hotel and you're hanging out with this crew, and on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most jealous, where do you think you fall? This is confessions on the fly, by the way.
In that particular relationship, it's definitely higher on the scale. I'd probably say it was like a 9.
Wow. So
Well, the foundation of any relationship has to be trust.
Right.
So if that's,
So do you,
regardless of job and regardless of job and regardless of because we're not around all the time. Everyone lives in different places, but I think people date each other within the industry because there is a camaraderie and hopefully a respect of, what I'm going through, I know what you're going through. So I think that is a basis, but depending on who that person is, how their behavior is, I think that's where the jealousy maybe comes in.
And at a 9, a 9 tells me that you knew this person because of who they were probably shady. So there was a higher level of...
I am talking to a girl who I was in training with like the first month that we were together. Like I gave this kid a lot of opportunities.
I love that you said kid. That's amazing. I call her kid. Well, if you act like a kid...
But let's be real. He's a kid. He's a child.
Right. I have people ask me on the airplane when I say, I'm married, my husband, they'll say, does he work here? And I'm like, oh, no.
Nope.
I could not even imagine, because I don't think I'm a jealous person. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 2.5. Mm-hmm. Like it takes a lot to get me jealous, but I automatically think if I was with a crew member, it would be like an 8. It would just drive. It would be so hard to think, what are you doing? Because I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Well,
it brings out an entirely different side.
It
of
does.
Who you are.
It does. I have a friend now who I almost feel guilty about saying this, but I have a friend now. I basically got him the job as a flight attendant, and he's married, and he and him and his husband are in an open relationship. But he basically fucks everyone around the country. Oh my God. And that's fine. That's fine. They have an agreement. But I always feel like, God, I probably shouldn't have got you the job because I feel like I'm guilty.
Gave him the opportunity to sleep with everybody.
I just gave you the golden key for cock, and I just handed it over to you. And sometimes I feel guilty, but I can't be responsible for other people's behavior.
Yeah,
I can't believe I said cock and you didn't ring the bell. I'll ring the bell for
I'm
that.
just like reeling
yourself.
inside my.
As you can tell, Stephanie, I'm the inappropriate one, and she's the adult.
Oh.
You? No way.
Yes.
I never would have guessed.
But,
Right?
but yeah, like I've never, I just can't imagine. I just think of dating crew. It's just you dating somebody that you're working with, and then I would be embarrassed if they did something, and then another one of my friends found out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, and that was the other part about it. We worked for the same airline. And
It's
flight
just,
attendants love gossip.
yeah, it's just
So it was
so reckless.
all over anytime.
So
It was like,
reckless.
come on, dude, like you can't hide it from me.
Yeah.
And he tried so hard to get me to switch airlines during like the merger.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm like, oh please, like I know you're not trying to get me over to this place because
It's
you
good
want it
for
my
me.
better
Yeah.
Right.
That's real.
Let's
Do you-
see where your intentions
Do
are.
you think? Do you think? And both of you can answer this because you're both women.
Okay.
And by the way, I feel like I'm in this hot sandwich today.
Yeah.
I'm like the salami, and
Yeah,
I'm a
boy.
vegetarian. But I love and vegetarians love to tell everyone they're a vegetarian.
I know.
Are you vegan? Or
No, I love meat.
I don't.
I know.
I'm going to give you what I say to other people. I don't kill animals. Thank you. I keep going off
Such a
track, and I
snob.
don't even. I keep forgetting what I'm going to say.
I know. I don't know where you're
Oh.
going with that
Oh,
statement.
Okay, I remember now.
You're both women, you said. And
You're
then-
both women.
Yes.
Say you're a flight attendant dating a pilot, and the
Mm-hmm.
other flight attendants know. Do you think there's something there that they say, "Oh, I think I want to sleep with that pilot now"?
Oh, 100%. That was part of the thing.
Wow, 100%.
So,
That's
so
amazing.
of course, part of it, like the guy that I was with, he's younger and
Mm-hmm.
he's very attractive and he's tall, and he's definitely the kind that had no business being in a relationship.
Oh,
Everybody's
right.
and like let's put it in this perspective. There were people that I went through training with, that I even lived with, people that I knew
Mm-hmm.
who knew that I was dating him, and throughout our relationship had tried to talk to him. So
So the people you
Yeah.
were staying up till 3:00 in the morning studying with were like, "Oh, she's dating so and so, and he's hot, and I think I'm going to slip in there."
oh yeah, there were people,
So uncomfortable.
a lot of people, the majority of the people, especially like down in LA and
Mhm.
some in San Francisco, they knew that we were together. It
Right.
wasn't a surprise
Right.
by any means. And I've seen a lot of, let's put it this way, I've seen a lot of naked photos of a lot of girls that I work with.
Oh my God! Can you send them to me? Because I just want to see naked photos. No, I'm kidding. And this is so interesting to me. And I want to clarify that I actually know a very good flight attendant who's been married to a pilot for a long time, and they have an amazing relationship, and they're fantastic. And this is, like you said, this isn't everyone.
No.
But
Exactly.
I'm so curious of your situation because it was the situation that everybody
Assumes.
assumes.
Yeah.
And so now I
It's
feel
the
like
stereotype.
I feel like I need to have somebody
Good
on the show
feedback.
who's dates somebody who's married who actually has a good
A great
experience.
relationship.
Yeah.
So I could balance it out. But
There are a lot in our airline, well,
Yeah.
especially where I am,
Uh-huh.
that are pilot flight attendant couples
And they're
been
married,
married
too.
and have kids and are
Right.
Oh,
really
yeah,
happy
and they fly
and they fly
together
together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's who are very happy and make it work for them.
Right.
And it seems lovely.
Right. Yeah. No,
So-
I think that happens, and then you have the pilots who are not like that, but you also have the flight attendants. When flight attendants are no different. When I first started,
I
was
think
on,
it's who you are as a person, regardless of
Well-
your job. That take the job away.
right.
You're still going to be that person.
If you're a douchebag, it
You're
doesn't
a
matter where
douchebag,
you are.
whether you're a doctor, a flight attendant, a pilot, you're going to just be a douchebag. That's who you are as a person.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like in our industry, there's like two types of people. It's like the ones that are super outgoing and flirtatious, and that's kind of their personality. They have
Mhm.
fun. And then there's the kinds that are kind of more recluse and quiet and don't
Mhm.
want to be there. They just want to get their job done and get out.
Mhm.
Right.
So when you have a bunch of people who are outgoing and provocative and flirtatious,
Which
and,
I think most people in our industry, the majority
Are
would be
extroverted.
because you're extrovert. This is one of the reasons why you're doing this job. It's exciting. It's fun. You get to travel. You get to talk to people. Da da da. Da. So you have a lot of those personalities.
What,
Mhm.
Stephanie? What is your thoughts on flirting and how
Yeah.
important is it? Do you take it seriously? Say you saw somebody flirting on social media that you liked, and it was just. How do you feel about that? Is that something that triggers you, or?
I think it depends on your character.
Mm.
I mean, I can tell you, like, I'm a flirtatious person. Like,
Me
that's
too.
just the way that I come across. It's the way that I do my jokes. It's what I'm comfortable with.
Right.
But if I'm in a relationship, I'm going to tone that back, and I'm also not going to act on it. So I
Right.
think it's a balance. You have to know what makes your partner comfortable and uncomfortable. And at the same time, they have to understand who you are as a person.
Right. Yeah, no. And I think crew, there are straight pilots that flirt with me on the plane once they find out. Like, everyone, it's like the airline industry, everybody flirts together. I've had a pilot once say to me, like, we were delayed, and I kept throwing jokes at him, and he said, "Oh, he was a captain," and he said, "Oh, Joe, you're too cute. I'm gonna have to get your number. I don't care what my wife says." And I said, "Oh, that's funny, but I only do first officers." And then the first officer is like, "You can't have my number." I'm like, "You're not pretty now.
You're
Don't
not
worry
pretty.
about it."
Leave me alone.
You're not my type.
You're not my
You're
type.
definitely not my type because you can barely get out of the seat. And if we crash, you're stuck. I'm sorry. But no, go
They're
ahead.
supposed to get through, like, the little tiny emergency door in the
I
cockpit
don't.
door.
Yeah, some of them I'm like, it's questionable.
You know, if there's ever a terrorist attack on the plane, the pilots are supposed to go out the flight deck. And I always think, well, what if he can't fit? He might as well just give himself up. Like, I'm not going to fit through the window anyway. Take me.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm a horrible person. But no, I'm just fascinated with the idea of crew members dating, and because it is different than two lawyers or it's such a different world. And people assume that we're all sky mattresses and we're all whores. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah.
No,
that was the first time I heard that.
sky mattress. Yeah.
I think, like, the first question I get when people find out that I'm a flight attendant or that, like, I dated a pilot is, so have you, had sex in the plane?
Yeah,
And
have
I'm
you
like,
joined the Mile High Club is always the question I get.
I'm like, listen, the last thing I want to be doing is being in that bathroom.
Thank
Right.
you.
90% of the time, I don't even want to go pee in that
Thank you.
bathroom.
Right. There have been times where I've been sexually aroused in the back galley, and I thought I could go in the bathroom and be done in like 5 seconds. But who's going to do that? I don't want to take my pants down in the bathroom. What? Is that a bell? I mean, you've never been. Wait a minute. Have you never been sexually attracted on the airplane, LJ? Have you never seen a hot guy from, I don't know, Portland, Maine with a beard and a big chest and you're just like, take me?
I've seen hot guys on
lumberjack.
right, I enjoy a good lumberjack.
We were talking about that a few weeks ago.
I mean, I enjoy, very pretty to look at, but I'm never like, oh, yeah, I got to go rub one out in the bathroom. No.
I haven't,
I'm gonna tell you a
but
secret.
I
We
thought about
operate
it.
differently.
You know
I
what?
have self-control. I'm not going to, I could be like, oh, good to know mental image. I'm going to take that for later.
Oh, yeah, it's hard for me to hold on to that. I'm like, I got to take care of this now, but I'm a guy. I've never actually masturbated in the lavatory. I just want to justify
for letting
that.
everyone know that.
Well, I mean, I think it's important.
Great.
But,
No, I have a girl that
I thought she was going to say, no, I've done it. Go ahead. Please tell me.
No, it was like our first 6 months. There was a kid that went into the bathroom, like a teenager, went in the bathroom, was in there for a long time. They were knocking on the door, didn't have a response. They got concerned, unlocked the door, opened it, and he was like mid-stroke, had toilet seat covers all over.
Mid-stroke? Oh, because they unlocked it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we can get in the bathroom.
Surprise!
Surprise. So stop stroking unless you're on my flight. But go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, so she literally opened the door on this, like, 15-year-old boy who had been in the lab for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And
Mid-stroke.
now she's a sexual predator
Oh,
because he was 15 years old.
She made eye contact, and it was the strangest thing ever. She just closed the door and turned around.
Like, I'm done.
Well, did you hear about, I know you heard about this months ago, where that porn star and that Delta flight attendant were in the lab. Did you see the video?
I didn't see the video.
No, we had something like that, though.
You had something like that at your airline? Was it in the news?
So, and they weren't even in the lab. So
Oh.
there was, I guess, there
Just
was
in
a
the middle
porn
of the
star
aisle.
might as well have been. There was a porn star in first class, and the person working in the front had recognized them, and they got into a conversation, and they went behind the galley curtain on a red eye
Oh my God.
and got on his knees, and there was a video, and it got around, and he got let go.
Oh, well.
Oh, I haven't heard about that one. what am I doing wrong? This happening to me?
Right.
Like I heard it was so funny because I can't remember the porn star's name at the moment, the story that I'm referring to, but it was in the lab, and this flight attendant was in uniform, and the porn star was recording it, and his ID's right there.
Oh my God, that's
and
horrendous.
Of course, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, I've watched that porn star's videos before. He's kind of disgusting and dirty, but it's hot. And I just thought, and I wrote something on the Flight Attendant Joe Facebook page, and I was just like, who would do that? Like, that is just beyond crazy. So see, flight attendants are filthy too.
That's true.
It's very.
That is,
Didn't you have passengers once touching each other, LJ, under a blanket?
Yes.
Yeah, and you told them to stop.
And it was an older couple, and they were part of our rewards program.
That's
so
part of the
I
rewards
feel like
program.
they felt entitled that they could do whatever they wanted, and I was like, that's not part of your premium gold style status.
it's so funny to me because it's like, at what point do you think that you can get away with that?
It's so
like,
gross.
Do you think that I'm honestly not going to be aware? Like,
do you
my
think
job
I
is to
don't have
watch
eyes
But-
watching you hump each other in the seat?
But I have to tell you guys, I've been around much longer than you. I probably haven't had as much sex as you guys because, well,
Yeah, it's questionable.
but you guys are female flight attendants. Oh my God, I'm getting hate mail on that one. But
Yeah, but all the men are gay.
that's true. That's true. But I personally think that when you have sex on an airplane like that, you want to be caught.
You do.
There's some people that like
yeah.
that, like, oh my God, what if that LJ flight attendant walks by? Maybe she'll help. I could use another hand on this piece of meat.
Well, and it's so funny because it's like,
Now I'm ringing the bell.
How do you even approach that?
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine being in your circumstance and being in first class and seeing that and being like, excuse me, but could you please like go
Put your
of
dick
your
away?
husband's dick?
Thank you.
Right. Or pulling the curtain back and seeing the flight attendant blow a porn star and be like, I wanted another champagne.
Giant Coke. Like,
I need another drink. Can you take his dick out of your mouth for a few
do
seconds?
you mind?
If it was me, I would be like, hold on.
Excuse me,
I would just like, you get my Diet Coke, I'll finish them off for you, and then everyone is happy. I'm sorry about that. All right, Stephanie, thank you so much for
Yes.
being on the show today.
This
Did you
is
have
great.
fun?
Of course.
Now I know
Yes,
you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having
Oh,
me.
Great.
I'm just excited that I finally got to hear your voice because I have so many photos of you holding my books.
Yay!
And, yeah, it's just me. And, you did your own photo shoot. You were sitting on the flight. You were sitting in the jump seat. It was just amazing, and I love that support. Thank you so
I
much.
read it all on reserve.
That's amazing. It was great.
Can you give us a little
Like I know you have a YouTube page.
channels, social media,
Yes, I
that
do.
kind of stuff?
Tell us about that.
So you can actually find me on Instagram.
Mhm.
My name is Miss White 9, MISS White, and the number 9.
Perfect.
And you can also find my YouTube channel by going there and clicking the link in the bio.
Awesome. Now, what do you do on your YouTube page?
I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Mhm.
I did some of like come to work and what it's kind of like a little bit.
Very
and
nice.
then I had foot surgery. So then it just kind of became a little bit of a sketch.
Right.
And eventually I'm going to go back in and probably do more stuff at work. But
Now, did you have foot surgery due to an injury at work, or was it just an injury because you were running
it was
around?
it was pre-existing. I had a bunionectomy.
Oh, okay.
So I had too much bone on my toe. And
Oh.
so it was hurting doing this job.
Oh,
so
yeah.
decided to be done.
Well, that's good. And you're back to work now, right? Ooh, I
Yeah.
almost burped again. I burped a few weeks ago, and it's still a mess. I have to burp, but I'm going to hold it in. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I'm a train wreck.
How
You should know
dare
that.
you.
No, I can't. Don't dare me. That would be twice in one already. And
No. Yeah.
it's gone. I swallowed it. It came out as a fart.
I'm so happy I'm not there right now.
Oh,
Me? Oh,
I've been wanting
God.
to fart on this one all day.
Can't
It's
even.
ridiculous.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Confessions on the Fly.
And I want to thank Stephanie for being here. Check out our YouTube page, Miss White 9 on Instagram, MISSWHITE 9 on Instagram. Follow her. Thank you, Stephanie. You're amazing.
No,
and
thank you so much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
you
It was so
have
much
a
fun.
great day and stop dating pilots.
Oh, trust me, far beyond that.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you. And thank you guys for listening. Check out Confessions on the Fly. New episodes every Wednesday during season 2. Thank you.
with LJ and Flight Attendant Joe. Click the notification bell, subscribe below, and for more videos, you can click right here. See you soon.